Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Sonic 2006. So what's going on with that head for wave ocean thing and why are we Tails? Well, let's try to find out by talking to people with red exclamation marks.
Eggman by herself. Tails, please help her. This is
Oh,
terrible.
that's not very
Please
useful.
save Eggman
So
by
Tails
herself.
has to go to Wave Ocean to do what exactly? Like, I'm not trying to rag onto the story too much, but this is not even an excuse for a level. There is no connection between Wave Ocean and what we are ostensibly trying to do. It makes absolutely no sense, but I'm not going to rag. Oh, whoa, 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 what's going on here? Not going to rag onto it for too long. Let's just get it over with, shall we? This level isn't bad. It's not terrible, especially if you're like me by this point used to Tails' controls. There is some fun to be had. It is deeply weird because there is a lot of combat, which is not exactly Tails' forte, unless you dive bomb everything. And it is like an extremely weird ROM hack version of the original. Like here, for example, they couldn't figure out how to program the sliding, so Tails just skips the entire segment. Makes sense, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. Not really. Makes sense. So I will be bumbling around on this beach for a bit, not finding the silver medal because this is my test recording, but it went super well overall. So let's ask an important question for a second. Why does this level exist? They were obviously strapped for time and resources when making this game, so why even bother? Well, here's my theory. They put all that effort into making playable partner characters, and then you barely get to use them. So they made the extra stages as a quick compromise, both to give the amigos more time to shine and to round out the level roster. The other two extras will be stages Shadow and Silver don't play themselves. This one's an outlier because it's a repeat in Sonic's story. Supporting my theory is that they made an entire DLC just featuring the amigos. They obviously cared about them, and it makes sense to me. It's a very human thing to not want your work be wasted. Anyway, back to the level. It's obviously just a copy-paste the structure from Sonic, so there is segments like this one up here, where, yeah, there is awkward combat to be had, but they don't really see a way to get up there from the other side, so it generally just feels very unfocused and extremely half-baked, because, you know, it probably is, yeah. Same here, again, you want to take this route for silver medals, but usually you don't have to, because I want to stress again, we are playing as Tails who can fly. And there is a lot of points in this level where they couldn't really fix the entire geometry of the level, because that's not what we're doing. And so either you have weird shortcuts like this one here, or you can basically skip all of it, because again, you can fly. Anyway, these spinning bars are rather vicious because they follow your height, and it's extremely hard to trick them. So usually you should just skip them. No big deal though. You can probably get up here. I think I've done it in a scrapped recording, but there's no point to it. You can just stay down here and keep going. And again, just fly over all of these obstacles. It's fine. So I'm going to spend a little time combating these robots here because, you know, I thought it might be fun to try out what I can do with them. Turns out not too much, because it is a bit of a disaster trying to fight fairly and normally with Tails. The dive bomb attack is pretty much the best you can do, but it is not that easy to aim, especially as we saw in the first person part just now. The robot's hitboxes are a little bit weird. Where do I hit them? On the main body. It doesn't make much sense. Then you have these guys who has way too much health, and yeah, you can bomb them with the AoE and then they die for some reason. I don't know why. There must be something with the physics going on of the rings. But overall, you're just flooding the whole beach with physics objects. Your own bombs can collide with your rings, we're going to see that later on, so that you do not throw them as far as they should be thrown. And yeah, so generally you can kill these robots. I recommend using the dive bomb. You get 3000 points for each you kill, so that's nice. Or was it 300? Either 1000 or 300, I'm sorry, misspoke. But generally, it's not really worth it to stop here and kill the robots. You're just wasting time. And as we're going to see in the S rank, you don't need to do any of this. There is some fat stacks of robots you can farm for points, which is a very easy thing to do, and then that's basically it. You are set, you're golden. This one is one of the scariest jumps in the level because it is rather tight to reach over here. So best I could do is just say just jump at the top and whoa, I don't know what happened here, but it is rather consistent, happens all the time. And now it's hard to get out of the lane. I'm bumbling around here because it basically locked me into this position. And this time I did hold forward during this, and for once it was wrong. You shouldn't do that, really weird. Getting this jump here is also somewhat tricky because you sometimes just plunge into the depths here, and this is always looks so awkward because the jumping arcs and all of that is just barely works for Tails. It's changed physics. By the way, you can get hit by the whale here. It's fun. It's just a normal enemy in the programming sense. Anyway, you might realize that by this point we have reached the part of the level which Tails has in fact played before. So there is not much I can say about this which I haven't said before, because it is literally the same. There are some changed enemy placements, like they're obviously trying to make this harder in the sense that there is a bit more tension. Maybe it fits with the story in some way that those robots are trying to prevent Tails from reaching Elise to do I don't know what. But in general, this is just, you know, when I was first playing this level, I really didn't like it because I tried to fight every robot. And trying to fight every robot here, trying to snipe them out of the air with those terrible ring bombs, while you try to get out of first person in time to dodge all of the missiles. It's a fool's errand. It does not work. It will drive you insane. Do not do this under any circumstances. I beg of you, do not engage in combat in this level. There is absolutely no reason to. I think I've made myself clear by showing this footage. I know how to control Tails reasonably well, but this is awkward as hell. And now it's over. So you obviously saw that there is a very high density of silver medals because, again, this is not a big level, especially if you cut out the entire mark speed section, because obviously Tails can't do that. And even with my bumbling around, because I killed a lot of robots, I almost got the S rank. I considered redoing this, but you know what, I'm actually going to show the S rank on its own, because there is going to be a lot more shortcuts you can take, obviously, and it's always fun having more footage, right? Anyway, time to have a cutscene that does not feature Tails. See you at the end.
You've wasted so much of my time. If you had cooperated with me earlier, I wouldn't have had to do this.
What are you trying to do, Dr. Eggman? Why do you wish to revive the flames of disaster?
Did your parents ever disclose to you anything about Solaris? Solaris's secrets are in his eternal flames. His power can change time and even manipulate the fabric of time itself. I wish to obtain this power and dominate everything in this world. From the past, all the way to the future.
You wish to rule over time?
Yes, truly. And the secret, it remains dormant in you, Princess. The Princess of Soliana and the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Once I have everything, the fate of the whole world will change. And one of the beautiful gems is just ahead.
Chaos Emerald located.
Finally. Now, let's go collect that Chaos Emerald.
Dramatic. Idiotic. Right, so we are going to go to the castle with Tails and Sonic. Yay! Awesome! Maybe Tails found this out doing reconnaissance by following the egg carrier. I don't know. I don't care. Now I'm going to show you something which I actually quite like about this game, and that is how quickly you can get around redoing stuff. Sometimes, as I said, I want to have a look behind the curtain a little bit. You just quit out here, quit back once, try select, act trial, Sonic, and then you just select the level which you just have beaten. It's very nice, it's very convenient. It's also the only way to show your full medal counter. So that's 10 for the stage, you see, just there. That's all you're gonna get. Anyway, about S ranking. From the act trial menu selected levels, I'm saying this because there are some side missions that are actually extremely easy to S rank. This one might be one of the easiest S ranks you can get of those levels. Because, as I've shown you before, even if you take your time and just fight a few robots, then you can get a lot of bonus. Even time bonus is still pretty high with 6 minutes. There is a lot of chunks of robots which you can easily kill, like here for example. If you take a look at my score counter, killing those invisible robots killed a lot of others around it, you didn't even see it, but my score jumped up by 3000, so that's crazy. But also, you can get an even crazier time bonus by just, you know, as I've already hinted at, ignoring half of the level, because you are Tails and you can fly. And oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Nice save, if I gotta say so myself. And yeah, there is no reason to, for example, interact with all of these things here, because, again, you can fly. This is a level that is not designed for someone who can fly, but they plopped a flying character in there because they felt they needed to do it, and you know, why not reuse a level that is half built for Tails already, because that's a lot of time save. So you might think that I would get a little angry at getting sniped like this here, and mostly I'm panicking, to be honest. But don't be afraid. Part of what makes this such an easy S rank is that you do not need a single ring of ring bonus at the end. Just go through it reasonably quickly, defeat the obvious big groups of enemies so that you can have a nice, you know, buffer, as I've mentioned before a few times. Which is always good to have, just in case you forget to kill something and or take your time at some point. And if you get hit, of course, then you won't have a ring bonus. But overall, this really should not be an issue. As you can tell, I'm pretty careful here because this has screwed me over before, being plunged into the water. And one other thing, which you might see in the outtakes at the end. But generally, there is nothing to say about this. This is basically still an almost automatic segment, except that sometimes you have to press the jump button now. As we reach the part that has been originally made for Tails anyway, you can still do the exact same thing, which I have done in the original S rank for Wave Ocean, and which I have heavily hinted towards against. This is the single best tactic for this level, is just skip everything. Even casually, you do not want to engage with the enemies, and for an S rank run, it's absolute fool's errand. Just get the fuck out of here, and do not even bother with any of this crap. Because it is really just set dressing. I'm pretty sure that the designers realized that in some way as well. There is no way you're going to fight this robot doing the barrage of missiles in a somewhat in a manner that will leave you sane. Anyway, another 5,000-ish points from here, and we are already done under 3 minutes. Wonderful. Still not the fastest level. Crazy, isn't it? Tropical Jungle is that much snappier. But this was very, very easy. No ring bonus needed. Absolutely no problem. If you want to try getting high ranks in this game, I recommend you start with this level. Don't know why you would, because you can see everything here, but never mind. I hope I made this copy-paste disaster somewhat interesting to watch. As usual, if you did end up liking it, like me back. Thanks for your attention.